Good evening. It is Wednesday, September 25th. I'm student meteorologist Daphne Gershkin.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Allender. The month of September clearly winding down, and well, we got some weather news to talk about on this Wednesday.
We have weather news, a full show in store for you with a lot to talk about.
Yep, we're going to start overseas in the Middle East, specifically Pakistan. Got a earthquake yesterday, 7.7, 7.8 on the magnitude scale. Still working out those details, but of course it did cause a lot of damage.
A lot of damage, not only the trees and the power and all of that, but over 200 people reported dead.
Yeah,
from
and
the
it's
storm.
a scary thing because the death toll is still rising as they're finding more bodies. The problem is this is in a fairly remote area, so they're having, rescue crews are having a hard time trying to get to those bodies and even people who are still alive.
So the rescue teams are there and the help is there, but it's just a matter of getting them to the scene and where they need to be.
Yes, and so that's the important thing. They need things like food and water and even medicine. Those are all key things for life. So hopefully we can get that. And there's even some, not really good news, but cool news coming out of this.
Kind of cool. In fact, it is a kind of like a rocky terrain. This is how they describe it, a rocky terrain rising out of the ground. We have an island made out of this storm.
Yeah, very small though, relatively, 60 feet high, 100 feet long, and 250 feet wide. So something kind of neat coming out of an otherwise devastating situation.
It is kind of cool.
Let's check out what's going on quickly around the nation with Jason.
Hey, thanks, Kyle. We have a lot beginning to run in store. We see fall gradually making its transition into the United States, and we do have some snow. It's to be expected later tonight, especially for southeastern portions of Montana. I'll get you that later in the show, but new low pressure system beginning to develop into northwest portions of the United States. See a lot of rain showers associated into Idaho, parts of Montana. And that's going to be continuing the next few days as that new system gradually makes its development. But back at home into Tallahassee region, we're still facing that stationary front just associated to the north of us, still giving us a lot of moisture and certainly a lot of showers. So we'll get you out later in the show of how this could be affecting your forecast. Local radar not showing showers at the currently this time. Certainly into the next few hours, maybe this evening we may see a spotty shower or two coming up. But later in the show, though, much drier and sunny. We'll talk about that incredible weekend ahead. Guys, back at the desk, I know you're ready for a nicer, slightly drier, and maybe a little of a cooler weekend.
Yes, we certainly are, and we'll leave that for one of our other student meteorologists to talk about that in a second.
We're going to take it a little bit further away from home again here, and a lot of water in the picture here. We're talking Mexico.
Still.
Still talking about Mexico. Last week, it was Tropical Storm Manuel and Hurricane Ingrid that kind of combined to create flooding and what else? Mudslides?
Yeah, it's certainly been a devastating situation, and the death toll continues to rise, right?
Yep. Right now, we're at 130 people dead and still on the search. So they do have a lot of help, though. Everyone's still looking, and they have the rescue teams.
Kind of a similar situation to Pakistan with what's going on there. So lots of search and rescue crews, it seems like, parked around the world, and hopefully we can get those people back on their feet once again. But let's go ahead and send it out to Tracy. We got lots to be thankful for as far as our weather is concerned, right, Tracy?
Was about sitting at 70 degrees this morning, and that's just slightly above average as well. Now for today's almanac, we did see rain sitting at 0.26, which is just a little bit more, but we saw those showers early this morning, which is why we're sitting a little bit more above average. Now our current conditions, we're sitting at 83 degrees. We're having dew point at 71 and our humidity is 68. So not too bad considering this time of year. I enjoy the 83 degrees versus those high 90s. Now current temperatures, as I said, we are sitting at 83 degrees in Tallahassee, and we have 87 in Monticello, and then also we had Valdosta sitting at 90 degrees. So a little bit warmer there, and we're seeing a little cooler temps down in Perry, but that's due to the stationary front that we have going on. That stationary front is taking all of these rain showers along the coast and more down into the southeast. So that's where they're going to be expecting a little bit more flooding and just kind of looking over some conditions to get ready for as the rain progresses into their area. Now here's that stationary front that I was talking about. It's just sitting right over our area, and it's going to be continuing down into the southeast. And right behind it, we have this dry cold front. dry cold front means that we're not going to see rain with this, and we're going to have nice, dry, and cooler temperatures coming in behind it. So that's going to be your forecast going in for the next couple of days. You know, more pleasant weather. You're going to be enjoying those temperatures a little bit more. And then tonight's forecast, with all of that rain shifting at our area, it's going to bring temperatures down into the 70s. So you will see a little bit more clouds in your skies, but might see a pop-up shower here or there. Now with tomorrow's forecast, we have temperatures sitting at 89 degrees. We are going to be seeing a little bit more pleasant weather, not as many showers, just a couple of overcloud skies. And then for our 7-day forecast, we're going to be seeing, as I said, tomorrow at 89 degrees. You're going to have lots of sunshine going through the week. So when we hit Friday and Saturday and Sunday, you're still going to be enjoying those temperatures sitting at 83 degrees. And then Monday and going into later next week, we are going to be seeing a slight more of a rain probability, with temperatures just slightly increasing at about 86 degrees. Now for a look more into our southeast area with Nicole.
Thank you, Tracy. Current conditions across the area are cooler as fall has officially started. 83 in Tallahassee, currently 83 in Montgomery, and check that out, 66 in Atlanta right now. So for them, I think it's a little bit chilly to be 6 o'clock at night and still have those chilly conditions. Our current dew points is the amount of moisture that is in the air, so that's when you feel really muggy. We do actually have this drier air that will be shifting into our region. You can see that by the dew point in Shreveport right now at 48. So there really isn't too much moisture in the air compared to us sitting at 71 degrees in Tallahassee. So those muggy conditions will be setting off later into the week. Satellite and radar shows, as we take a outlook of the area, we do have some showers into the peninsula right now, moving in moisture, but taking a look closer into our neck of the woods, we only have a little bit of cloud cover right now. You saw those clouds building as you were heading home, and a couple of showers moving through. In Perry in particular, you do have some heavy rains heading into the area. Now, as I was talking about with those dew points, you can see the water vapor imagery has those drier conditions and with the oranges and blacks that's going to be pushing into our area. So all of the clouds and rain will be making its way out. Our futurecast shows that this boundary layer that has been quite the pest will finally be kicking on through as more drier and cooler boundary layer will be pushing in, bringing our temperatures into beautiful sunny skies. So this weekend will be perfect. Too bad there's not a game, but hopefully you can head outside this weekend and get some outdoor activities in. If you're heading out on the water tomorrow, you will have smooth to light chop, sunny skies. It will be absolutely beautiful, and those winds will be coming out of the northwest at 10 knots with the waves only kicking up at 2 to 3 feet. Tonight's forecast, you can see those temperatures are finally dipping down. 61 in Little Rock, 62 in Shreveport, and 70 in New Orleans. Taking it back home, 70 for us in Tallahassee tomorrow, 69 in Savannah, and down along the coast, those temperatures are still consisting, 80 in Key West. And tomorrow's forecast, those temperatures are drifting just a little bit. 89 in Tallahassee, nice sunshiny for us. 87 in Montgomery, 90 in New Orleans as that drier air is pushing into their area, and the rest of the region is looking relatively dry with those nicer conditions. Let's send it back over to Tyler and Daphne. Hey guys, did you stay up for those storms last night?
Yeah, I did. Did you?
I did not. I crashed early last night.
Yeah.
But hey, they say after the rain, there always comes sunshine.
That's right. And kind of things are getting better, as you saw with Nicole and Tracy's forecast. We got some cooler weather on the way. That cold front's coming down, and it's a pleasant change for the end of September.
So not only do we have the peaks of sunshine, but we have the temperatures that are manageable.
Yeah. In fact, humidity, as you said, will be manageable as well. So it's going to feel so much better. Highs in the low 80s by the weekend, and lows maybe upper 50s, low 60s. So it's going to be a real nice change.
Definitely
a
weekend.
Need a light sweater if you're really sensitive, maybe, but not for me.
Outdoor plans at night, perhaps, because we're so used to this heat. Do you have any outdoor plans for the weekend?
I don't. I'll actually be heading down to South Florida.
Oh, you're missing
I'm missing the cool weather.
We'll have to enjoy it for you up here.
Yeah.
But definitely a great welcome into the fall time weather.
Fall season. It started officially earlier this week on Sunday, I believe. So we're getting started right away here.
Good start. And when the weather's nice, everyone's in such a good mood.
Yes.
I love it. Jason, tell us some more good news with the weather.
Hey, well, there's certainly a lot going into the National. Fall's beginning to make its full swing. We've seen some snow showers, especially into southeastern portions of Montana. We see those current conditions, quite chilly temperatures, billions. Montana, 49 degrees currently, with, of course, there's some showers going on in Salt Lake City, 55 degrees. So that's certainly an area where we have those very cool temperatures, expecting, of course, some snow tonight for those regions. But otherwise, most of the rest of the United States looking quite hot, though, in the center of Texas, 96 degrees in San Antonio, with the eastern portions of the United States cooling off into the 70s and 60s. Now, the watches and warnings, we have our first winter storm warnings of the year up, mostly southeastern portions of the Montana region, especially for a city of Salmon, Montana, expecting 6 to 8 inches of snow tonight for those regions. And the reason why, of course, we see in the water vapor imagery indicated with the images of water in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and we see some white to green areas, and that's indicating a lot of water vapor there. So expecting a lot of quite a few snow showers tonight for that region, and we even see some more green areas and some white into the Florida region, which means, of course, showers will be present into those forecasted areas. Now, top radar, we do have this low pressure system beginning to develop into the northwest, so a lot of showers beginning to spew up, especially into parts of Washington, Oregon, Idaho. Even look at a few stray showers. Snow showers, fine, begin to see into the Rockies coming up there, expecting, of course, 6 to 8 inches of snow tonight for those areas. Now, reason I have an image around into the southeastern portions of Montana and extending into Wyoming, we have some severe weather watches around this region tonight, mainly only a wind factor. However, though, the SPC has a 15% chance of some straight line winds and some isolated supercells. So certainly if you're in those regions, got to be into your forecast going into the later portions of tonight. Now, look into the mid-Atlantic states. We do have that stationary front certainly helping to spew out a lot of showers. Winds coming out of the south, so we have some moisture, and this is going to be a pattern going into tonight before we zoom down into the southeast, where we see this low pressure system begin to take control of the stationary front and move its energy out into that region. Now, I have a cool quick surface map that's going to be showing this all into motion real quick. I'll step out of the way. Going into the next few days, cool and dry begins to make a region in the southeast as that low pressure system above makes its way. Some showers expected for the regions. Now, airport delays looking very good. Tonight's forecast, mid-70s for most of the southeast. Cool spots all in the northwest tomorrow. Once again, heating up into the 80s and 90s, especially into central Texas. We're going to go ahead and take a local view now, once again, with Daphne.
Well, thank you, Jason. Wednesday night here, but in terms of our rainfall today, about 1/4 of an inch, not bad here, about the rainfall. Now that's going to be changing, as I mentioned a little bit earlier here. We have the sunshine in the forecast, only dry and clear on the horizon here. Now, as you sit down for dinner, 83 degrees, low 80s is what you're seeing. And look at that humidity, 68%. Yeah, it's a little bit high, but that's only on the decline. We're going to be clearing and drying as the night progresses. In fact, you can already see here, we mentioned in the show, we have the stationary front lingering over the tri-state area, and that's the reason for the bulk of the moisture here, really hanging out in central Florida, central to South Florida. You are hogging the moisture as Tallahassee and North Florida begins to dry up. And you can see that here with our futurecast. I'm going to put it into motion here. Stationary front tonight moving to the south, and then come Thursday, tonight into Thursday, high pressure dominating the southeast region, giving us beautiful, beautiful skies, beautiful outdoor plans, cool and dry. So definitely feeling a lot more like fall and right where we should be for this time of year. Now, current temperatures by the number, we are in the low 80s all across the board here. Tallahassee 83 for you, St. Mark's along the coast at 81 for you. So already feeling a little bit cooler and going to continue seeing that pattern. Now, here's our dew point. This is just indicative of how much moisture we have in the atmosphere. So when that number's over 70, you know we have the moisture in the air. Look at that, 71. So we still have the moisture, but that's only going to be declining as the night progresses. So hair days for you ladies, that is going to be great tomorrow. Now, tonight's forecast, if you have outdoor plans, you can call it 70 degrees, mostly cloudy skies and there is a slight chance for rain, but no downpours, and if it does rain, it'll come and go real quickly. Now tomorrow's forecast, a lot like today, folks. We are in the 80s. We're going to continue to see that. 89 degrees is what you can see tomorrow, and overcast skies. So we do still have those clouds in the forecast. Now, hey, here's your extended forecast for you. We have those peak of sunshine. Look at that. Weekend time, sunshine at full force. 83 degrees is our high, and look at that, 60 on Monday as your overnight low. I think that's beautiful, beautiful weekend for a lot of us. But right now, we're going to send it to Tracy and Raquel at the desk.
Thanks, Daphne. I'm looking forward to that beautiful weekend. How about you, Tracy?
Absolutely. I could use a little sunshine and some cooler temperatures.
Yes. In latest news, NOAA has released its 5-year development plan for its research and development. Now, this is to help further just help learn or help their partners get more knowledgeable about their kind of research and their mission statement.
Absolutely. And I believe this is the third of its kind. So this will be the third issue and statement that they've released about trying to better, our society and kind of clean it up and see what's best for them out there.
Yes. So in addition to being its third of its kind, it's also the first to include its development plan that's also that employees, federal employees and no employees have contributed to it. But now we're going to take it over to around Florida and see how Florida's looking out there, just in general as a whole. Look at that, 83 in Tallahassee, overcast skies. We're still awaiting that beautiful sunshine in our area as a stationary front is going to be heading its way down to the lower part of Florida. We're not going to see that quite yet. We're going to see a nice glimpse of it tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. But we're going to start seeing that cooler temperatures as we head into Friday and Saturday. But right now, the most moisture that's going to be heading to Florida is going to be coming out of the east. So Tampa is actually under flood warning right now. Parts of the counties have been seeing heavy rainfall, and I don't know what to make of it. West Palm Beach, however, has been seeing a little bit more moisture as well, and that's just all due to the stationary front right here. Again, it's just setting in place and just bringing all the moisture up. It kind of acting like a magnet in some sorts. We can see dew points right now, 73 in Tampa, 71 in Tallahassee, and we're going to see those dew points fall as we head into the weekend. Again, as I mentioned, those easterly winds coming out from the Gulf of Mexico. Look at that, 12 miles per hour in Tampa, yet for Tallahassee, we're staying pretty quiet right now. Just a nice southern wind coming out from the beach, or coastal sea breeze rather, and that's at 7 miles per hour. Jacksonville is getting a nice northern wind, and that is due to the high pressure system that's located right above the Ohio Valley right now. So it's just trying to kind of influence our area, but the big picture for us is going to be an approaching cold front. You see, this is the stationary front right along this ridge right here. We see the dry air just trying to push its way south towards us, and we do see this lot of moisture just coming into the region, and that's going to continue into Friday. So parts of Tampa and Orlando, you're going to continue to see a 20% chance of rain into this weekend. And however, we do have that cold front that's going to be making its way through our region and bringing us those nicer temperatures. So for right now, we're going to take a look at our satellite radar. Again, I see that all that moisture coming out. Oh, there we go. We have our nice radar just showing us all that moisture coming out from the ocean. A lot of cloud cover for Tampa and Orlando. Tallahassee, we're starting to stay nice and dry right there. A few pop-up showers. But we're going to continue to see how they just start to die off as we head into the weekend. Just hopefully see nicer temperatures and everything. A closer look at home. We do have those partial showers and everything. That's because of the stationary front. And also a nice sea breeze effect will also add added moisture to our area. For our temperatures tonight, however, we're going to see probably 70 degrees tonight, and maybe even cooler temperatures as we head into the weekend. So I'm going to take it back to the desk with my partner Tracy and just keep it updated for y'all. So Tracy, did you miss me while I was away on my segment?
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah, so what's our next story going to be like today? What do we have to tell our viewers? Oh, I am so sorry, Tyler. I'm going to send it over to you. My mistake.
It's okay, Raquel. We're all excited to have our share on the weather show, and let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in the tropics briefly. There's not a whole lot going on. We do have a a series of names that we've already gone through from Andrea to Ingrid, but it's really been a slow-paced season, especially when you consider that we've only had 2 hurricanes and we're a couple weeks past the climatological peak of the hurricane season. But because it is still the season, I want to show you what's going on in the tropics. Really not a whole lot, a couple areas of showers and thunderstorms that are trying to get going, but again, as has been the theme all season long, high wind shear, dry air, that kind of chokes these systems up. Think if you get dry air in your nose, it kind of chokes you up, and that's the same for these tropical systems, and that's been the case all season long. Now, as we go into the next couple weeks and into October, November, we do get to watch close to home usually. So we'll watch the Caribbean and portions of the Gulf of Mexico for any possible development. But if this is your cruise week in the Caribbean, a good week, lots of clear skies across the Greater Antilles. Currently around the nation, back on land in the United States, you can see we have lots of heat soaring up into the midsection of the country, but check out the Pacific Northwest, cooler. Much cooler, especially in the higher elevations. Not really painted well on this map, but we have 50s, say in the valleys, but 30s and 40s in those higher elevations, and we're even seeing some snow. And so it's really getting off to an early start, the winter that is, across that part of the country. Then the southeast, we're seeing some rain as well. In between, nice and quiet. Let's start off in Florida. They've gotten a ton of rain across the past several days. In fact, since Sunday night, areas around Sarasota, you've seen about 5.5 inches of rain. Englewood near Venice, they saw about almost 8 inches of rain since Sunday night, so the rain machine has been on high there, but it's luckily turning off just in time for the end of the week. Appalachian Mountains seen some shower activity, a little system off the coast of the Carolinas. That's going to affect the Northeast, so while they're dry now, they're going to be seeing some rain and some precipitation as we go into the latter part of the week. And out west, we're seeing that moisture as a low pressure system is swirling about here. Snow in the higher elevations of Idaho and portions of Montana could dump between 12 and 18 inches of the white stuff. So we're talking snow on this September 25th. You can see across the plains in the southwest, it's relatively quiet. But for tonight, we're going to see temperatures in the 60s and 70s across much of the southeast. The cooler air starting to nose south, as you can see, 78 degrees in Atlanta. We'll take a look at your local forecast coming up, but let's go ahead and go back to Raquel and Tracy at the desk.
Yeah, sorry, Tyler. I was just so eager to get back to the desk and talk to my partner, Tracy.
We try to keep it fun and entertaining up here, so I can see why you missed the desk so much.
I missed it. So, would you like to take us to our next story then?
Absolutely. Well, currently in Colorado, they're still dealing with some flooding conditions. And now is the time for the start of the skiing season to begin. And with road closures due to the flooding, it's kind of hurting their economy just a little bit with them not being able to get up the mountain.
Yes, I know that parts of Colorado, such as Breckenridge and Steamboat, their main industry is tourism, especially during this time where skiing is starting to begin, as you said.
Right.
Just a lot of skiers are flying out there, and for them not to be able to get up to those mountains, it must really hinder their business.
Absolutely. And with not only the flooding they have going on, they also have the oil spill and about due to the flooding, and that's shut at about 1,900 oil and gas wells. So that's kind of like putting a hurt on their economy as well.
Well, fortunately for us, though, we don't have to worry about any road closures at the moment. So, Chris, how about our local? How does it look in our area?
Thanks, ladies, and we actually are going to see an improvement come tomorrow and into the weekend. We're going to see a perfect weekend, at least in my opinion, and for many of you, you're going to love the details. We'll get to that a little later, but we got rain to talk about right now. You can see this is all associated with a stationary front that's brought us all this rain this past few days. So still some showers in Wakulla County and towards our east, especially for you folks over in Perry and Point South. That's where we've seen a lot of rain today, over a couple inches. So keep an eye on that. More rain in the forecast through your night tonight, and then drying out as we have a cold front approaching. We did reach 90 degrees today, so a little above average. 70 this morning. It was nice and cool, a little cooler than where we have been, but still above average. We should be in the 60s by now, which we're going to be seeing into your weekend. So get accustomed to the change. You're going to really feel it. Maybe even add a jacket. We're talking upper 50s, but we'll get to that a little later. 82 right now, mostly cloudy skies across the capital city, and that's a similar story across the Big Bend. 86 for you folks in Marianna, 88 in Bainbridge, 86 in Wilma, and then upper 80s along the Gulf Coast from Apalachicola up to St. Mark's, 81 rain cooled there, and 78 or 79 rain cooled in Perry. And then across the southeast, you can see this big blob of moisture down here in Florida. They really picked up a lot of rain along the Gulf Coast. For you folks around Tampa and St. Petersburg, we're talking upwards of 5 inches, flood warnings. Tampa southward with all this batch of rain, and this is going to continue on through your evening, but finally move on out of here along with the clouds, and you can see what we got behind it, drier air. Now the surface map is going to show you what I'm talking about. Here's the stationary front that's producing all that rain. Then you can see off to my right, you got high pressure over in Texas. This is going to be moving forward as we move into your day on Thursday and into Friday. There's that front moving right over the capital city on Thursday at 10 in the morning, and then pushing through the panhandle with drier and cooler air behind it. It's going to be really nice. Get outside, enjoy it this weekend, folks. It's going to be beautiful. Just a great day to enjoy, maybe hiking, maybe go on an adventure, hit the beach. It's going to be great all around for any outdoor plans. Tonight, though, we're going to see those rains dying down and moving off to the south and the east, 70 degrees, and mostly cloudy, a slight chance of rain, but then we'll be drying out. Tomorrow's looking beautiful, not much rain at all. 89 degrees are going to be our high with mostly clear skies and a southeast wind at 5. And then your 7-day forecast shows a similar story, even cooler as we head into your weekend, 83 on Saturday and Sunday, and look at that, 59 Saturday night and low 60s through the next week. It's going to be beautiful. But ladies, let's go back to our neck of the woods, get us some more info.
Thank you, Chris. Well, currently in Juneau, Alaska, they have at least 1 to 38 different glaciers, and right now they're experiencing the Mildenhall Glacier kind of retreating back a little bit more with the warmer summers and warmer temperatures, and it's exposed a frozen forest out there.
It has retreated back 170 feet. Can you imagine that?
That's a lot, and that's
Yes.
over the course of 50 years. So I mean, that's a huge difference.
May not seem like that much for us right now, like 170 feet. How bad could that be? But imagine just you have this big block of ice, and for that thing to melt 170 feet over like just winters and summers, for that to just decrease that much, that is a significant just indication of what we're going through nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. And also right now, with that glacier, they are talking about the tree potentially being a spruce tree. And that's not confirmed, but it's something that they're looking at and considering that might be the type of forest that it is.
Well, hopefully we won't see that many warm temperatures this weekend, as we do have our 7-day forecast, and it's going to be a gorgeous weekend for us. We're going to probably see lows just dipping down to the low 60s and just beautiful sunshine. So again, I mean, do you have any plans this weekend? Are you going to just enjoy the summer weather? Or
I think I'm just going to
winter?